Happy Shivaratri. Happy Night of Shiva, Lord of Consciousness and Bliss. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Om Namah 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 Shivaya. So here's Shiva, one of the two main aspects of universal existence. Shiva sitting in meditation. Shiva sitting in bliss of consciousness. Shiva sitting in oneness with the great divine, with the Jyoti, the divine light, the divine supreme light. And Shiva shows us how to do that. Shiva shows us how to be in contact with the divine light. He shows us how to know ourselves as the divine light. He removes the veil. He destroys the veils that separate us from our knowing ourselves as the divine light, from experiencing ourselves as the divine light. Shiva removes all the obstacles and the veils that separate ourselves from our true selves, from our true essence. So this is actually another aspect of Shiva that is shown often as Shiva as Nataraja. Does the dance of destruction, and his foot is standing on ignorance and crushing ignorance. And that ignorance is the ignorance of ourselves, not knowing who we really are, not knowing that we are the divine light, the Jyoti, the Arut Perun Jyothi. So Shiva helps us to destroy the ignorance, so that we can know ourselves as that Jyoti, as that divine light. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Namah Om, Namah Om, Namah Om, Namah Om, Namah Om, Namah Om, Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. So as a chant to probably the most important chant in all of yoga, which is the invocation to divine consciousness, the bliss of consciousness, that is Shiva. And tonight it says Night Shivaratri. So if you live in an area that maybe has a Hindu community or a yoga center, there's a really good chance that tonight there's going to be a Shivaratri celebration at your local temple or yoga center, or maybe even a meditation center somewhere nearby. So if you do maybe a search on online for a Shivaratri event in your area, it would be Shiva and Ratri, like that, or it could be one word, Shivaratri, with no space in between, and sometimes Shiva is spelled without the H, like that, so it's S-I-V-A sometimes, or S-H-I-V-A, depends on the dialect. So you can find yourself a Shivaratri celebration in your area, and go and join in the chanting and in the meditation, and experience the bliss of Shiva. It's important to me right now because I'm preparing for a trip to Tibet, to Mount Kailash, which is the abode of Shiva in the north of the Himalayas. And I'm going in June with a group of people. And, it's a place we go, hi, Chevy Bear, thank you, welcome to the Yogi's Cave. Thank you for coming. And so Mount Kailash is at about 18,000 feet. And you actually go and you walk around it. You don't actually climb up it. Good. So how's everybody doing today? Happy Shivaratri to you all. Namaste. I'm Yogi Stephen. You're in the Yogi's Cave. And today we're talking about Lord Shiva because it's his day. And I've got several different images of Shiva here. I've also got Om. Om is very much associated with Shiva. Shiva as the Lord of meditation and the Lord of consciousness. Om as being the primary mantra that we work with to bring the consciousness to one-pointedness. Hi, Piece by Piece. I like your name. That's a cool name. And then I've also got Ramalinga Swamigal here, who on his forehead wears the Tripundra, which is the symbol of Shiva, the three lines on the forehead. Okay. And he started out as a devotee of Shiva, and then moved on to worshiping the divine light itself, not in any form, not as Shiva, the divine male, or as Shakti, the divine female, but in the formlessness, what's called Brahman, which transcends all existence and all concept, and is the true source light. Hello, Rob Sam 2323. Welcome to the Yogi's Cave. I am doing great, thank you. Francis, nice to meet you, Francis. Thank you. Shiva as the five-faced deity. So, Shiva with five faces. And that's the way that in the tradition called Shiva Siddhanta, Shiva is represented as the Supreme Divine with 5 aspects. And I like that because one of the aspects, there's creation, transformation, maintenance or stability, and then the 4th aspect is veiling. And veiling is interesting because we're often upset and concerned and irritated by the fact that the divine in its universe has all of what these things that we consider to be negative aspects. There's death and destruction and war and murder and all kinds of things that we consider to be harmful to beings and this is actually considered in Shiva Siddhanta to be a power of the divine. The divine purposefully veils its essence from us so that we kind of have to go through the process of removing the veils and rediscovering our own divine nature and our own divine essence. It's because of the veiling, however, that people go awry and start doing things that are in contradiction to divine nature, or that sort of appear to be in contradiction to a divine nature, and so it's actually considered to be a power of the divine, not a mistake or a flaw in the divine, but something that the divine intentionally does in order to set us up on a path of rediscovery of our own divine nature. And then the 5th power of the divine after veiling is revelation, the taking away of the veils and the revealing of the true nature. So I really like that system a lot because it really fills in the blank on some of the things that we've been a little bit mixed up about. Why is there quote-unquote evil in the world? Why do bad things happen to good people? Why is life a struggle? All of these questions that we have. Well, it's the divine's way of putting us in a situation where we have to rediscover our own divine nature through the struggle of life. The divine puts obstacles in our way so that we can grow from the process of removing the obstacles, of overcoming the obstacles. There's a purpose to all of these things. I was just talking with a friend of mine this morning who is a martial arts instructor, and he totally messed up his knee, and he says, but I'm learning about myself in ways that I never did before, because of messing up my knee, and so I said, yes, well, the divine provides everything in our lives so that we can learn from the experience. So once we understand that everything that we come in contact with in our lives is a learning opportunity, then we can see why these things arise. It takes some looking. Sometimes you have to really think about it. You have to really consult with the divine and contact with the divine through meditation to sometimes understand how some of the things that happen are actually opportunities for us. But once we know that in fact that they are opportunities to grow spiritually, it really changes the way that that we relate to that. So we're going to invoke the divine grace light through the crown of the head and into our hearts. Arut Perun Jyothi Arut Perun Jyothi, Arut Perun Jyothi, Arut Perun Jyothi, 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 Jyothi. Tanit perun karunai, tanit perun karunai, tanit perun karunai, Jyothi, 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 Jyothi. So sit with your spine tall and straight and let the crown of the head open up. And let the divine light energy in through the crown of the head. Let it travel down through the spine to the tailbone, where it connects with the earth. Let it take that earth energy back up through the spine, and back up into the crown of the head, connecting earth to sky and sky to earth, conducting Jyoti light, divine light energy, supreme divine grace light. Arut Perun Jyothi, Arut Perun Jyothi, Arut Perun Jyothi. Aim, 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 aim. Okay, oh, that's a good card. I like this card. Okay, good. So we pulled the yin yang. Yin yang. I have it tattooed right here on my back of my neck. Yin yang is from Taoism, and it's the balance in the constant transmutation of one energy into another. The balance in the constant transmutation of one energy into another. So the universe, the world exists because the Supreme Divine, which is a unitary state of oneness, splits into two aspects. And it's between these two aspects that the universe exists. So in Tantrism, we call that Shiva and Shakti. So Shiva is the divine male energy, and Shakti is the divine female. And in the yin yang, that gets represented as sort of white area and dark area. Okay? And the dark area would be the materiality, the density. The white area would be the transcendence, the non-density. And the constant interpenetration between consciousness and existence and consciousness, going back and forth. Yes, exactly. And that is the engine of creation, the engine of the universe, the engine through which the universe is constantly creating itself and then turning back inside of itself, and then recreating itself and turning back inside of itself over and over and over again. That's an important concept to understand. And so we need to, when we understand yin yang and we understand similar types of principles like that, things that seem to be opposites are no longer opposites. They're actually companions. They're actually, you know, sort of co-supporting parts of a whole. You know, not really in conflict with each other, but actually co-supporting each other. So it transforms the way that you look. So that's yin yang. Yes, Shiva taught me all the information in the deck. Shiva taught me for 25 years. Shiva taught me all the information that's in the deck, and then when I asked Shiva, how can I share the knowledge that he's given me with you, he said, create a tarot card deck based on what I taught you. And so then he helped me to find all the images, and then we edited the images in Photoshop. And then we found a company online to produce the images. This is interesting. This is the Shiva's trident, the Trishula. This is Shiva's symbol. So I worked on it 12 to 14 hours a day for about 2.5 weeks to create this deck. And it's been very, very powerful, very powerful. Every single reading that I've given has produced a coherent message for the person. And it tells us, no, I don't sell the deck. I only made it just for me to use with you. Maybe someday I'll sell it, but not right now. Right now, it's only a special tool that was created for me to use with you. And that's the reason why the deck exists. Very powerful deck. And Shiva works through me, through the deck. Also Divine Mother and Shiva equally work through the deck, so that I can tell you what they want you to know. Through the deck, the Divine tells you what you need to know. It may not necessarily be, there's 130 cards in the deck. And each spread will have a minimum of 14 cards. It could be more, though. Divine Mother is the female aspect of the universe. So in yoga, we don't see the divine as being male or female. We see the divine as being both male and female. And it can be either male or female. It can be male and female at the same time. It can be male and female kind of like fused together. Or it can transcend male and female completely and be just one unitary component. 130 cards in the deck. Although I'm going to reduce it eventually to 108, because 108 is the yoga number.